Today we're going to be looking at situations that have a percent of increase or decrease. This is going to be the first part in a two-part series. Don't forget you can pause or rewind if you get behind. You'll need the notes given out in class and some colored writing utensils. It's also helpful to have a calculator so that you can see and verify the answers as we do them as well. So what are some situations? Oh, and just also a reminder that on the back, if you have any questions as we go along that you would like me to address in class, you can record them here. Okay, so situations that have a percent of increase or decrease. So what are some situations that where you might see an increase? Well, prices that get marked up, a markup of some kind, tax, sales tax, tip gets added on to your cost of like a meal or something. You might also have just general like a population increase, like an animal population or people population, that sort of thing. Decrease. This is where you might be looking at discounts, sales, markdowns. And what is going to be similar in these is our procedures for how we go about calculating these things. The difference is on an increase, we're going to add, and on decrease, we're going to subtract. Okay, so our how to calculate is going to be very, very similar between them. All right, so let's take a look at our first problem. In Maryland, sales tax is 6%. Mrs. Sanborn purchases a new car. She gets the price down to $16,548. How much does she pay to the state in sales tax? And then how much does that mean she's going to have to pay for her car? Because unfortunately, the sticker price is not what you're going to end up paying. There's a lot of other things that get added on top of it. So first, I want to calculate the sales tax. So I'm going to take the $16,548, that's the cost of the car. And since we're given the percent, that means we're going to multiply. So I'm going to multiply by 6/100. This is the tax, the percent written as a decimal. And when I put that into my calculator, I find that she is going to pay $992.88 in sales tax. That's almost $1,000 on top of the cost of the car just in sales tax. All right, so let's see what that means her actual cost that she's paying is going to be. So we're going to take our original $16,548, that's our car cost, and we're going to add it because tax, tip, these are increase. These are addition situations. So we're going to add the $992.88. So that's our tax amount. And when we put those into the calculator, we find that $17,540.88. This is the cost that Mrs. Sanborn pays. Okay? So tax, something that gets added on. All right, let's take a look at the next one. Courtney and her family go out to a fancy steak dinner once a year. Their bill is $120.18. In their state, sales tax is 4.5%. They had exceptional service and decided to leave a 22% tip. How much will they be paying for their steak dinner? So one thing you need to know about this is both tax and tip are calculated based on the original cost, what's called the subtotal. Okay? So we're going to call this is subtotal. That's our cost of everything added together. So we're going to make a little note here that both tax and tip are calculated based on the original amount. Then these are added to the original. Okay, so let's go ahead and do tip first. That's going to be the bigger number. So tip, we're going to take the $120.18. This is our cost of the meal. We're going to multiply it. We're given the percent, so we're multiplying. And we're going to multiply the percent. 22% as a decimal is 22 hundredths. We're going to multiply that. And when we do that, our calculator is going to give us 26 and 4,396 10,000s. Well, money only goes to how many decimal places? Only goes to 2 decimal places. So we are going to look at the third decimal place to decide what the second decimal place does. In this case, our third decimal place is a 9, which means this 3 is going to become a 4. And we are going to be leaving $26.44. All right, so this is our tip amount. All right, so for our tax now, we're going to take that $120.18 and we're going to multiply by our tax, which is 4.5%. As a decimal, that is decimal point 045. Do not put decimal point 45. Don't forget that 0. Otherwise, you're paying 45% in sales tax. I don't think you want to do that. So that is going to give us 5 and 4,081 10,000s. Again, we're going to look at this third decimal place to decide what the 0 is going to do. And this is an 8, so therefore the 0 is going to round up. And we're going to pay $5.41 in sales tax. Now, we're not done yet. We still need to answer the question, which is how much are they going to pay for their steak dinner? So we are going to look at the total cost now. So we're going to take the original cost, $120.18. We're going to add, so this is our cost. We're going to add the tip, $26.44. And we're going to add the tax, which is $5.41. So the actual amount that we're going to be paying is $152.03. Okay? Questions? Write them on the back. Need to listen to it again? Go ahead and pause and rewind. Otherwise, we're going to move on. All right, so now let's look at finding out the percent of increase. In the previous problems, you were told how much the increase was going to be. Now, these are situations where we need to figure out what the increase was. So the owl population at a wildlife sanctuary is increasing. When the facility opened, they had 16 owls. Currently, there are 27 owls. What is the percent that the owl population has increased? So first, I want to find the amount of increase. So in order to find the amount that it has increased, I am going to subtract. So I'm going to take 27, this is our new amount, minus the 16 original owls. And I find that we have 11 more owls now than when the wildlife sanctuary opened. Then I'm going to divide. I'm going to do change divided by original. So my change is 11 divided by my original 16. And my calculator gets me this, 6,875 10,000s. I'm again going to look at the third decimal place to decide what the second decimal place is going to do. Again, I'm still 5 and above, so this 8 is going to increase to a 9, which means that there's a 69% increase in the owl population. Next, a chef has decided to open his own restaurant where each night there will be one entree served. He has budgeted for the cost of ingredients to be $2.20 per person served. He is charging people $15.75 per person. We want to know, how much is the price of the food been marked up? This is very common that in restaurants the cost of the ingredients is very low, especially since they're making so many of them, but it's marked up a lot to what you are actually paying. Okay, so same scenario as above, we're going to find the amount of increase, and we're going to do that by subtraction. So we're going to take the $15.75 minus the $2.20, and we get a difference of $13.55. So this is the new, and this is the original. Second step, just like the previous, we're going to divide. We're going to do our change divided by the original. So our change, there's a difference. The price has been marked up by $13.55. So I'm going to put over here the amount of markup. All right, so I'm going to take that $13.55 divided by the original, which is $2.20. Now, what you may notice as a difference between this problem and this problem, here we had smaller number divided by larger number. We got a decimal that we had to turn into a percent. Here, we actually have a larger number divided by a smaller number. That's because in this case, our original is smaller, okay? So you're going to notice the answer is going to be a little different. So do the division. When we divide, we get a whole number in there. We get 6 and 1,590 10,000s. So what does this mean as a percent? Well, I'm again going to look at my third decimal place to decide what my second decimal place is going to do. My second decimal place again is going to increase. This means that the cost of the food has been marked up by 616%. Every time the food goes up by a total of $2.20, that's a 100% markup. And then that keeps happening several times over to get up to that $15.75. So it has been marked up by 616%. So this $13.55 is all profit for the chef. Okay, that is all profit. His ingredients were $2.20. Once you take that out of the $15.75, everything left over is all profit for him. Okay, so 616% markup on food. Okay, our final question. Alex is playing a video game where he accrues points. On Saturday, he played for 8 hours straight. He started the day with 1,568 points and had a goal to increase his points by 65%. We want to know how many points did he need to earn. And we're also going to take it a step further and say, how many points did he end up with at the end of the day? Now notice, these previous two problems, the percent was not given. So what did we have to do? We had to divide. But if the percent is given, what are we going to do? We're going to multiply. So we're going to take our points, or the points that Alex has earned. So 1,568 points. So this is the current points. And that's going to be multiplied by 65%. We need to write that as a decimal. So how are we going to write that? We're going to write it as 65 hundredths. So this is, we'll call this the desired change. when we multiply those, we get 1,119 and 2 tenths. That's going to round to 1,119. So let's just look at whole points. And so I looked at this, I saw that I did 2, and this 2 means that this 9 is going to stay the same. It's not going to round up. So he needs to have a 1,119 points earned. He needs to earn that many points. Well, how many does that mean he's going to have at the end of the day? Well, we're going to take his original 1,568 points. We're going to add it because this is an increase to the 1,019 that he's going to earn. So this is our earned, this is our original, which means that at the end of his 8 hours of playing video games, he should have 2,587 total points. Okay? Questions? Make sure that you write them down right here. If you need to listen to an explanation again, or if you missed something, or your paper is not as complete as mine, please pause and go back and listen to it or watch it again. Thank you very much. That is percent of increase.